the unique demands of athletes, the training loads that we go through, the cycles that we have within our in-season, preseason, postseason situations have unique needs as far as what our nutrition looks like and what we need to be able to do to make more resilient athletes, to increase our lean body mass, and to be able to refuel our muscles as they're working through our hard practices, our competitions, and our repeat to be able to bounce back and do better than we've done before. I'm Dr. J, and welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. I have a background of a master's in human performance/applied sports science and a doctorate in sport and performance psychology. This week, our episode is going to cover how much protein do athletes need daily. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more 5 Minute Fridays with your Dr. J. So one of the difficult parts about nutrition and understanding how to take advantage of nutrition is a lot of the guidelines that are posted on our food labels that are generally popularized are for general population. And one of those macronutrients that holds a lot of sway as far as us building into better athletes is going to be protein. So the common recommendations for protein intake for your general population look like 0.4 to 0.8 grams per kilogram of body mass in total. But for our athletes, it's more of a recommendation of 1.2 grams per kilogram to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body mass. And if you're unsure of how to calculate that, just divide your body weight in half, and that is about how many kilograms at minimum you're going to want to get of protein. For our women, the benefits kind of top out around 1.5 grams per kilogram of body mass. And that's not saying that eating more protein isn't necessarily good for you. It's just that that's our point of no more increased return. And for men, the number looks a little bit closer to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body mass. When we're thinking about when is the most beneficial time to have protein consumption, first and foremost, have protein at every one of your meals throughout the day so that you're consistently getting a loading level of protein and your body has a chance to synthesize, aka break it down into amino acids so that it can utilize all of those nutrients in your muscle in different areas of your body to heal, restore, and regenerate and even create, right? And in addition to it being something that you do throughout the day, typically having that immediately after resistance training is a great option as well. But most of the time, we're going to want to have that meal or that replenishment within 8 hours of us training. And a lot of athletes might have multiple sessions throughout the day. They might have 2 a days, they might have 3 a days, depending on what part of their season they're in. And so making sure that you're getting nutrients after each of those training sessions or before or after those training sessions is going to be crucial to your benefit, and making sure that those trainings count. Because if we're not fueling our bodies in those right ways, essentially we're stealing the benefit of the training from ourselves. So we're doing that work in vain. If you're not going to recover, replenish, and restore, that work is only stealing from us, and it's not going to add to our overall ability. And it's going to actually shorten our career or even our potential for athleticism. I wanted to cover just a few common sources of protein. I have a list for our omnivores and for those that are plant-based. And before we get into that, one note that I wanted to make was there was a study that looked at men, and it was omnivores and vegans. And the biggest thing that was important as far as which style of diet that you're using, as far as what is most beneficial for you and what fits best into your lifestyle, the greatest piece of importance was how much protein consumption they had as far as athletes are concerned. And so if you're a vegan athlete, making sure that you're hitting between that 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body mass. Just as our omnivores, it is crucial that you guys are hitting, men and women included in you guys, right? That you're hitting that 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram of body mass for your protein consumption as well. As we have a better idea of what those needs are and what our baseline is for that number, right? We have options of how to hit that. And a lot of them are delicious. I would recommend trying quite a few of them to see kind of what you enjoy and what is most feasible for you, whether that's from a wallet standpoint, whether that's from an accessibility standpoint, or even from just a flexibility standpoint as far as what you can do with what you have where you're at. And I'm going to start on the omnivore side. And for the omnivores, you guys can include the plant-based side as well. This isn't an all-inclusive list by any means, but it's just a starting point to get an idea. So for the omnivores, we're going to start out with beef is a good protein source, chicken, poultry, pork if it's lean cuts, lamb, fish, seafood, dairy, that would include milk, yogurt, cheese, cottage cheese, all right, eggs, whey proteins, casein proteins, and any of the supplements that are made from any combination of those. And then on our plant-based side, we've got beans, beans, which would be kidney beans, garbanzo beans, pinto beans, lima beans, lentils. All right, within the nuts, it'd be cashews, almonds, pecans, walnut, hazelnuts, pistachios, soybeans, and there's multiple versions of soybeans. That could be tofu, tempeh, seitan. All right, nut butters, peanut butter. I put tahini in this ballpark as well. Seeds, that could include chia seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds. Oats would fit in this ballpark as well. Whole grain breads, and then whole grains themselves like amaranth, quinoa, and even buckwheat. And then you've got your plant-based protein mixes as well as your plant-based supplements, and that could include bars, drinks, in addition to just that protein powder. A major point of emphasis in all of this is that our goal with nutrition is that we are being consistent. And that some days you might not get close to that goal, and you might not have control of what you're able to eat on certain days, depending on if you're traveling with your team or your competition is of longer duration. But a few things to keep in mind would be that we're aiming for consistency overall. And with that consistency, we're going to be able to build ourselves into more resilient athletes. We'll be able to recover better on the regular, and we'll be able to make the most out of our training. And we all know that training takes up a large portion of our time. So why wouldn't we want to make our training as effective as possible, right? It's almost silly, but nutrition does take some learning. It does take some figuring out, and it does take some consistency and patience as far as being understanding of what you can utilize to your benefit and what you enjoy. As far as getting some anecdotal advice from someone who has experienced this from multiple angles, being a high performance athlete myself, in addition to having a limited budget or having a limited kitchen, I've been able to find ways to get over this hurdle that a lot of athletes deal with. In addition, I'm starting a series that I'm going to walk you through how to cook, how to be able to utilize these things, and how to make good choices to be able to make your dollar stretch a little bit farther while still getting the benefit of highly nutritious food. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Join us again in 2 weeks as we cover our next sport and performance theme. Once again, I'm Dr. J, and as always, be refined by the grind.